Konami was well known for bringing co-op goodness to our living rooms in the form of action-packed shootouts such as Contra, but often mistakenly ignored by many gamers, myself included. Another military co-op styled action game was also delivered in the form of Jackal. Released alongside Konami's aforementioned renowned run-and-gun, Jackal loads you into the driver's seat of a jeep and sends you across the Cambodian border to infiltrate an army of VC thugs to rescue POWs. With driver Sergeant Quint at the wheel, Lieutenant Bob on the guns, and a second driver and gunner, Corporal Gray and Colonel Decker respectively at the ready, co-op play is definitely the way to go with this one. Originally released for arcades in 1987 under the title Top Gunner, Jackal is more or less like an overhead run-and-gun game along the same vein as Commando, with one major difference. You operate a vehicle rather than engage the enemy on foot. The Jeep has minor nuances that make Jackal a bit more unique when compared to other run-and-gun shooters. Since you are operating a vehicle, turning on a dime as on foot is hindered by the fact that you're on a set of wheels. While this can take a bit to get used to, as maneuvering between hordes of baddies and gunfire can get a bit hectic in the heat of battle, the controls for the most part are fairly responsive. Your Jeep can toss grenades in 8 different directions, which is useful for taking out enemies such as tanks and gun turrets, and for blowing open enemy hovels, from which you can then liberate your captured comrades and load them into the Jeep like a clown car. The POWs can then be dropped off at a helipad to be collected and returned safely home to their families. Your grenades can be powered up into missiles, and then into missiles that fire off shrapnel in 2 directions, and then finally 4. These weapons are without question your most valuable assets throughout the game, but you thankfully also have a Peashooter at your disposal, given that your special weapon returns to its default should you have to respawn after death. The caveat is, the Peashooter only fires in one direction, up. Of course, this is just part of the game, and adds to the gameplay strategy required to survive Jackal, unless you're just being an unreasonable drunken fool.
Gun don't fucking shoot where you point your Jeep, dude.
The game has 6 overhead vertically scrolling stages that also branch out horizontally. One of my gripes with Jackal is that you have to inch up against the edge of the screen in order for it to scroll further to the left or right, oftentimes resulting into death by driving directly into enemy fire. Because of this, I had to resort to simply firing my special weapon at all times. It makes my forearm sorer than that long, lonely, forgettable drought of 98. Flashing POWs upgrade your special weapons by 1 unit, although there are also hidden power-ups strewn about the game in the form of full weapon upgrades, smart bombs, and 1-ups. The game is also fairly generous with extra lives, providing one at 20,000 points, and then another every 50 grand there afterwards. Like Contra, Jackal's homeport has several improvements over its arcade counterpart by splitting up the game into 6 stages rather than just a long continuous one, and providing a boss battle at the end of each. And also like Contra, the music is phenomenal and employs those sweet Konami chiptunes that so many of us have popped chubs over for the past 3 decades. The graphics have that quality that we've come to expect from Konami as well, including some really nifty in-between stage scenes. It's definitely an aesthetically pleasing game. Jackal also offers a fair challenge, limiting you to only 5 continues so that you only want to come back for more after inching just a bit further each time. Now that's what gaming's all about. I may have stumbled upon Jackal late in my gaming life, but that sure as hell doesn't mean I can't appreciate it now. Jackal is an absolute blast, and the best part, it's still a fairly inexpensive game. If you've yet to try this one out, don't wait any longer, pull the trigger on Jackal. Do it now.